Hey guys, in this video we're going to create navigation tabs so we can switch between our inventory and crafting and later on between skills and stats or any other thing. So first thing, if you open your inventory widget, we need to add some buttons that will let us switch between the widgets, but we can't add it here because we want to switch out this whole inventory into something else like crafting. So what we're going to do is create new widget. So right click, go to user interface, widget blueprint, click on user widget, and this one will be interface underscore widget. In here, open it up, and we're going to add canvas panel. And now we're going to add something called widget switcher, which will let us switch between different tabs. So anchor this to the whole thing, so hold Ctrl and Shift and click on this. And now let's add our inventory as a first tab. So search for inventory widget and add it here as a child. And now what we can do is create one more widget. So right click, user interface, widget blueprint, and user widget, and this will be our crafting underscore widget. Now open this up. For now I'm just going to add canvas panel, maybe image, anchor it to the whole thing, and this is just for show so you can see how this switcher will work. Go back to interface, and now here we can add, compile it and save it. And now here we can add the crafting widget and add it to this widget switcher as well. And this widget switcher can be tab switch. Make sure it's variable. And now what you can do here, you got active widget index and you can just switch between them. So this one is 0 because it's the first one, and this one is 1. So if you select 1, it will select the crafting widget. If you select 0, it goes back to it. So we can see that we can just set up the buttons that will switch this index, and we can switch between tabs. So what we can do now is create the horizontal box that will hold our buttons, add it to the main canvas panel, make it maybe size 60 and I don't know, 800. Let's add a button, add it to the horizontal box, and in this button we're going to add text. Add it to the actual button. Now on the button, let's style it a little bit better. So I'll leave it as rounded box. I'll do tint, maybe something like I did before, something bluish, and only 0.3 alpha. And let's do padding 10. Not the outside one, we can do it on the text. This padding here, there we go. And now text actually can be, if you want, you can do justification in the middle. I'll leave it on the left side. And now on the button, so what do we have here? Rounded box. We can do hovered, so just copy this whole style. So right click next to the style and copy it, and now paste it, actually not next to style, sorry, next to normal. Right click next to normal, copy it, and now paste it into hovered. That will paste the whole thing, and now we can just maybe make this white, something white like that. And I'll copy just this tint and paste it into pressed. and there is something called press padding. So search for padding, and you got pressed padding, and if you just do 2 on top, that will look like you're actually pressing the button. So compile and save. Let's just set it up so we can actually show this widget and we can see what it looks like. So in our player blueprint, so go to blueprints, open player blueprint, and in the event graph, we can close these functions. And in the event graph here, when we're creating the widget, when we press I, we need to change this. So drag this back, disconnect this inventory reference. We will set it anyway. Drag this back as well. And now change this inventory widget to interface. That will create the interface. Now we'll promote this to a variable. This will be our interface reference. Connect it here. And since we still need the inventory reference, we can just drag from interface reference, and the widget is inside, so we will get inventory widget, and then set it as our inventory reference. Compile and save. And this way we don't have to change our refresh inventory or build inventory or any of those functions. All we have to do here is, here we need to change it from inventory. So delete it and we will get the interface reference, connect it here. And here on the, after flip-flop, we will remove it as well and get the interface. Now, let's click on this inventory reference. Let's find references by name. And let's check if you need to change it anywhere else. So this is on equip item. We got inventory reference. We're refreshing equipment slots and inventory. That's fine because we do have this reference. Same thing here. So it's all good. Compile and save. Now if you play the game, open the inventory. Doesn't do anything because I think I'm not adding it to viewport. Let's go to back to player, event graph. Yes, I still got, so here you need to disconnect the inventory from the add to viewport and we will add the interface instead. So we can just get it interface reference. There we go. Now play the game, it opens the inventory, same as before. It's basically anchored to the whole thing as well, so it's fine. And now we got the button here. So you can see when we press it, it goes a little bit down the padding. It looks like you're pressing it. Maybe I need to change the border. So let's style this properly. So border on hovered outline probably needs to go darker. Copy and paste it into outline in pressed. That's fine. Let's just create other buttons. I mean, you can style it yourself. Just select this button, Control and D to duplicate. Control and D to duplicate. Let's create 4 for now. First one, let's rename the button to crafting inventory. Text will be inventory as well. All right, we can't have 2 inventory, so this one will be inventory button, and text will be inventory text. Actually, you don't need to rename this. Whatever is the default, I'll set it back. There we go. This 1 second button will be, we can just rename, what I wanted to rename here is the text. so not the variable here. So text will be inventory. Second one will be crafting, and we can do, I don't know, skills and stats. So on the button, let's try to do fill on all of them so they will stretch equally in the space. There we go. And now maybe on this last button, let's see again what it looks like. Yeah, it's quite alright. And now on this last button we can maybe make round corner. So what's this last one? We'll select the outline settings, and maybe it's this third one here. There we go. Set it to 30, and you will have round corner in the end, maybe even more, 40. There we go. And let's finish naming this button. So inventory button, this will be crafting button, this will be skills button, and this will be stats button. Compile and save. And now we got this set up. So what we can do is switch between them. So we need to manipulate this active widget index. So go to graph. Now delete the break construct and tick. And on construct, we're going to first set the inventory as an active one, because obviously we're going to open with the inventory and then switch between the other tabs. So what we're going to do is get the inventory button, and we're going to set is enabled. So get this and switch it off, so leave it off. That will disable the button, so you can't click on the inventory anymore. You can click on the other ones. All right, so now go to designer, click on each button, and now let's go all the way down and do on clicked event. Go back to designer, crafting, on clicked event, designer, stats button, all the way down, on clicked event, and this button didn't rename, stats button. What did I name stats button? Ah, right, okay, stats button 1, this is skills button, stats button. All right, and now on click event I haven't done. So we got all 4. And what we're going to do now is we're going to set this. So get all this, copy it, paste it here. Yep. And we're going to copy it actually 4 times. So 2, 3, and 4. Put it in line. So connect them all. Select them all, I'll press Q on a keyboard. And now let's connect crafting button, skills button, and stats button. And now if we press on the inventory button, we will set inventory to disabled, and everything else will be back to enabled. And we will do the same thing on all 4. Since we're only doing like 4 or 5 tabs maximum, this is the easiest way to do it, so you don't have to do any functions that will get all the classes or anything like that. And you can just switch it here. So when we click on crafting, we will disable the crafting and enable everything else. Copy and paste it. And on click on a skills button, we will disable the skills button, enable everything else, and paste it again. And on the stats button, we will disable the stats button, enable everything else. Compile and save. Now if you play the game, you can switch between the tabs. Be careful here on the edge. I noticed we got obviously hovered is not set the same radius, so go back to interface, designer, here on stats, make sure these outline settings, the first ones from normal, right click next to them and copy them and paste them up. Maybe not paste the color. I just set it manually to 40 here, the third one, and 40 here on pressed. I will fix it. And now if you also want to change this when the button is disabled as well, you can do that down here. You got the disabled option, and all you have to do here is just change the tint. So wait, I'll change it on inventory so you can see it. Like, no, that didn't do anything. You need to draw with us and draw with us rounded box as well. And now it will change to whatever you like, so you can customize it here as well. But I'll leave it as it is because it actually fits pretty well as a disabled button. I can just switch between tabs. And now what we need to set up is that we will actually switch the tabs. So on the end, in the end here, we can get the tab switch, and we will get the index. So get set active widget index, this one here, and we will set it to 0 on first one. Copy it, paste it here. This will be 1. Two. And 3. And this index obviously, as I said before, it depends on this, how you got these organized. So you got them in order. So if you switch them, this would be 0, the crafting would be 0, and inventory would be 1. Also, let's not do these ones for now because we actually don't have the widgets created. Compile and save. And now if you just go to game, we'll switch to crafting and we'll switch to inventory. Alright, and that's it for this video. So in next video we can actually start doing our crafting tab. Alright, cool. See you in the next one.